I do have the Infosys management here with us in our makeshift CNBC TV 18 studio. Vishal, Sikka, Rajiv, Bansal, Pravin, appreciate you joining us. First of all, congratulations on your first quarter and a good quarter. Great way to start, Vishal. So welcome to the QSQT era. That, you know, Qayamat se Qayamat tak, if you would like that, or quarter to quarter. So I hope it's been a grueling, intense initiation as far as you're concerned.
Yes, I had never heard that QSQT reference to quarters before, but yeah, it has been a fun and intense day.
Excellent. Let me start by asking you, because in your opening remarks, sketchy at this point in time, which is understandable given the fact that you've only been in office for about 70 days. But let me ask you the fundamental question when you talk about positioning Infosys as a next generation services company and not a previous generation services company. You've talked about AI, you've talked about innovation. You've also talked about continuing to focus on the bread and butter segment, because you will have to do that.
Yes.
What does this mean in terms of reorienting the very core of your business model? If you're talking about positioning yourself as a new generation services company with a key focus on not on cost and labor arbitrage, but on innovation, what will it mean in terms of redesigning your business model?
I think that it means a massive embrace of innovation, a massive embrace of new technologies, artificial intelligence, automation, a great focus on delivering business outcomes and value, on innovation, on process improvements. And I see that as something that can help us rethink and reinvent each one of our existing service lines without disrupting them. For example, BPO, the traditional BPO, clients are increasingly not interested in the way BPO used to be done yesterday. They're interested in achieving great business outcomes, in process improvements, in process innovation. We see a opportunity to bring tremendous voice technologies, language processing technologies, automation technologies to rethink all kinds of business processes, and we are starting to do that in some ways. So we rethink that infrastructure management can benefit tremendously from innovation. So the key is to take our existing services and bring a renewal in those with the power of technology, with the power of better efficiency, with the power of automation, as well as in operational excellence and so forth.
So let me now extrapolate your other statement, which you said that you want the company to become a bellwether once again. You do know that Infosys has not been a bellwether for the last several quarters now. When do you anticipate that all of this is actually going to start delivering in terms of results? When do you anticipate that this is going to start delivering in terms of you being able to catch up with your peers? Forget industry leading, but on par with industry rates. By when can we expect that? Is FY17 perhaps the earliest?
Well, I expect, Mr. Murthy started this journey about a year and a quarter ago, and that was a 3-year journey, so I expect that that is the timeline that we'll stick to. The nature of the business is such that there is an inherent latency in the adoption and the being able to see the results. Of course, you are seeing the early results already, so it is not that that we can only achieve a step jump 2 years later or something like that. So you will see a continuously an incremental achievement and contribution of these new areas, but a meaningful impact of this will only take more time, and I think at
moving out of a single digit dollar revenue growth, by when do we anticipate Infosys moving out of that?
I think that I am deeply convinced that a next generation services company, as I have talked about, is one that can grow 15 to 18% over time, 25 to 28% margin over the longer term. And I expect...
You're nowhere close to that.
Right now we are not, but I expect that over time, over a long term, that is a target that we should easily aspire to.
So double digits. I won't get to 20% or even 15 to 18%, but NASSCOM industry rates, by when do you anticipate you will be able to get to that?
I think that you should expect that we will be able to start achieving those kinds of results on the timeline that we had started on, which was 3 years from 1 year ago, so I would say 2 to 3 years out from now.
You know, you said that you will require till at least April to articulate what your plan as far as capital allocation is concerned. Are we given to understand then that even your strategy as far as M&A or inorganic growth is concerned, we will perhaps have to wait till April in order to hear more clarity on that?
I think that this is an area where obviously you want to be able to jump at opportunities that surface, but we are carefully looking at our opportunities and we are thinking about these new areas, and yes, so that would be a good time frame. But don't hold it against me if I ended up announcing something earlier than that.
Well, the street will be very happy if you actually did end up announcing something earlier. They're drawing parallels with what we're seeing happen as far as Cognizant is concerned, which has just announced a big deal. So they're hoping that we could perhaps see the same aggression from Infosys. So perhaps sooner than April, maybe something on the M&A front?
Well, you never say never. You know, you can never say never on these kinds of matters. But we are very seriously thinking about these, and not from the perspective of growing or acquiring a previous generation company. company, but from the purposes of acquiring new skills, new capabilities that help us accelerate our drive towards the next generation, towards innovation.
So would it be correct to assume then that the inorganic growth strategy that you will pursue will be to augment areas like artificial intelligence and so on and so forth?
Yes.
So that's what you're looking at this point in time?
Yeah, among other things.
The buyback debate, let's get that over once and for all. You know, it was taken to the board several times in the past as well. What is the situation now as far as the buyback is concerned? You've announced a one-for-one bonus today, but is the buyback debate over and done with at this point in time, at least till April or perhaps even beyond that?
I would hope so. I think we are a new management team. You can see the results that we have started to deliver on. We are committed to a strategy of growth. We have a very passionate, young, dynamic management team. We see opportunities in many different areas. We see opportunities to growth, for growth in every area. We would like time to be able to think about and rationally plan in detail what we are going to do. And I do see the opportunity to grow the company and to take advantage of many of the positions that we have in those areas. It will, however, take us time over the next couple of quarters to more precisely articulate what those are. So until then, it would be wrong to even expect something, a statement from us in that area. However, I do believe that we are a company that is focused on growth and on being able to leverage the cash to be able to invest and grow in new ways.
Will you continue with the Infosys philosophy of protecting margins as opposed to chasing growth? Because that is another area that analysts would like some clarity on. Are you going to sacrifice margins for growth? Is there going to be a change in that Infosys philosophy and ideology?
I would not put it as one at the expense of the other. We believe, Mr. Murthy always talked about consistent, profitable growth. I deeply believe that we need to do both. Achieve a great industry-leading growth as well as be profitable while doing so.
Let me ask you about the demand environment, and you said that you've been meeting with clients across the globe at this point in time to get a sense of what it's looking like. What are the indications that you're getting in terms of IT spending as far as 2015 are concerned? What are the early indications that you're getting? How robust is the demand environment looking today?
I think there are certain areas where there is a decrease in demand that we see, and Pravin can talk about this in more detail. The overall, if I could summarize that at a high level, I have met several hundred clients already, interacted with them over the last 70 days. My sense is that there is never a shortage for demand for innovation, for great value. And in some areas, like what I referred to as yesterday's services, in some areas we see a downward pressure, commoditizing, and the commoditization of services leads to a downward pressure. However, when you talk to clients about delivering value, even in the existing areas, and certainly in the new areas, there is a great opportunity to deliver great value.
But you know, in the existing areas, and let me just take that point forward, because if one were to look at you being able to get back into the double-digit kind of growth rates and play catch-up with your peers, for instance, if I were to look at the BPO segment, 9% growth for you versus 30% for TCS. In the infrastructure services side, 15% growth for you versus 27% for TCS. How soon do you anticipate being able to bridge that gap?
I think that we will not bridge the gap by following the practices of yesterday. We have, as you have pointed out, seen significant challenges in these areas in the past. I don't believe in helping, just becoming better in efficiency and continuing this downward spiral that the industry seems to be on, of lower and lower costs and faster hiring and things of this nature. I think that's the wrong direction for the industry. I think a much better idea, a much better direction is one that is based on innovation, one that is based on a massive embrace of automation and new technology. But what will that also then mean in terms of pricing and being able to attract a premium as far as pricing is concerned if you do indeed follow this differentiated strategy? I think that, yes, I think that we can achieve a much higher value, new kinds of business models, new ways of delivering value and then capturing that value with clients. New kinds of propositions where we can share in the value that is delivered to the clients and so forth, as well as in much higher productivity that we achieve with our employees by the use of technology.